What's going on, vinyl community? It's LJ. It's been a couple of days, and I hope everybody's doing well. I am here tonight, not only to check in and say hey, to share a handful of albums that I picked up recently. One of them, a freaking grail, and also, I wanted to take a minute and make everybody aware of not a new, but a newly back on the air, if you will, radio program that's hosted by the vinyl community's own Doug James. Now, you might be able to overhear it in the background. For me personally, I grew up listening mostly to the radio and to records. Now, one thing I always looked forward to on the radio was on Saturday night, 94 HJY, which is the local hard rock station here in the Boston, Providence area, had a show that was hosted by Dr. Metal Mike, and R.I.P. Metal Mike. He was killed in 2003 in the station nightclub fire where Great White played. That show, it was just 3 straight hours of headbanging metal. It was kind of like Headbangers Ball on the radio. These days, we have the syndicated House of Hair, which is hosted by Dee Snider. Also a pretty cool show. I definitely enjoy catching it when I can. And Doug James has a show called Raging Metal. And Doug's made a few videos here in the vinyl community. You'll find the links to Doug's channel as well as to where you can listen to Raging Metal online down here below. Raging Metal is a weekly, well, Doug's doing them weekly right now, 1-hour show that just has some kick-ass new metal, classic metal, Doug spinning vinyl, CDs, commercials appropriate. You have advertisements from like Paul Stanley for Rockstars Against Drugs Driving, and you know, all sorts of stuff like that. It's, man, is it an hour well spent? It's one that I've been checking out for the last few weeks, and Doug just does a kick-ass job with it. I mean, it's, if you want to sit down and just kind of tune into a 1-hour radio program, it's, you can't beat it. And to boot, it's free. And it's on demand. You don't even have to be there, you know, anymore. It's Saturday night at 10 p.m. in front of your radio. It's just the coolest thing in the world. Doug takes requests. He featured Kiss as his featured artist last week. Different featured artist every week. And man, I'm loving it. So check out the link down below. Check it out. It's on SoundCloud. You can stream it. You can download it. You can listen to it on your iPod, burn it to a CD, whatever you want to do. Check out Doug's channel. He shot some quick episodes here that he's put up on his YouTube page, and it's just awesome. It's not to be missed. Rock the hell out no matter where you are in the US or Europe. You've got to get your ass tuned in to Raging Metal and check it out. Right on. So next, here's a handful of albums. We're talking like 4 or 5 that I've found in the last couple of weeks. I wanted to share with you guys and share some thoughts too. First up, man, I was stoked to finally get Heaven and Hell, The Devil You Know, which is really Black Sabbath masquerading as Heaven and Hell for legal reasons. This is an album that I've wanted for a long time, and I found it finally brand new for a great price. This came with a full poster, which I'm not going to go ahead and fold all the way out. It's way too big to fit on camera, but still, very cool poster. I saw Miko show this album when he did his Dio collection recently, and it's just such a great album. This was pressed at RTI, which, you know, was supposed to be one of the best going, and I'm a little disappointed because the first vinyl actually has a slight warp to it. So when you put it on, every revolution, it's got a little lip. It's not enough to affect the sound. It's not enough to make me take it back, because the place I got it only had 1 copy, and it was a great price, and I want it, so I'm keeping it. But it's just a little disappointing. Check this out. You have an etch on the back. I don't know if the light will pick that up, but side 4 is completely etched, much like Paradise Theater. And the other sides just have cool vanity labels. This is an amazing, amazing album. Much better than Dehumanizer from Black Sabbath, in my opinion. And if you're at all a fan of that Heaven and Hell and Mob Rules era of Black Sabbath, and you have not checked this out, you're doing yourself a huge injustice. You've got to grab it. Killer stuff. Second, and I have to say I owe this one to Punk Texas. Punk Texas did this kick-ass record fair weekend thing where he like went out and went digging and stayed at a cheap motel, classic punk style. but he found an album called Mariah, and he spun it in the background at the close of that video with some of his finds. I was hooked. That was it. Nobody costs me more records than John, Punk Texas. So you did it again. Thanks much. And this is just straight up mid-70s hard-ass rock. Hard-ass rock. So this is Mariah from 76. Killer stuff. I was able to find a sealed copy. Sealed, as in never opened. Unreal. To boot, it also came with a press kit. So there's a photo of the band, glossy photo of the band, and a bio that would have been handed out to radio stations, record stores, and so forth. So, John, Punk Texas, thank you for turning me on to Mariah, and to the wonderful internet, thank you for providing me with a sealed copy. Too good to be true. A couple other sealed albums I found, got a great deal on them, so I couldn't pass them up. The first one I didn't have, this is Whitesnake's Slip of the Tongue. This is from the late 80s, maybe it's 89. It's just on the Geffen label, 1989. So I thought that was a cool ad. It's one of those that I've had a hard time finding just because of the period that it was produced. Absolutely killer album. And it was sealed. As was this second one, which I already have, but it's sealed. Mine's obviously not, and mine has a couple hairlines on it, so this is kind of happy upgrade. And this is from 78, so this is a mid-80s Geffen repress. Whitesnake's, I'm sorry, Trouble. Excellent, excellent 70s hard rock album. Now, on to the Grail. Check this out. Check this out. Now, I recently showed The Who live at the Isle of Wight in 1970, and this was a double CD release with some really cool labels. And man, have I been digging this. I love The Who, and this was just an awesome CD. Real hard to touch on vinyl, especially here in the US. I believe it was only produced in the UK in 2 different sets. Both 3 LP, 3 vinyl sets, 1 black vinyl and 1 was red, white, and blue vinyl. They are just so damn pricey. So when I happened on to a gently used copy at a really fair price, you bet your ass I pounced. Woohoo! Oh, this is so good. So you have in the back, it is a UK import. There's the Made in England sticker. It carries the same biography down here, or information about the show that you have in the CD liner notes. Some great photographs inside. I'll let you guys check those out of the band in their absolute prime, in the Tommy era of The Who. And this is just absolutely fantastic. Let me tell you, I've definitely kind of had a look on this online for quite a while. And it's a 3 LP set. All of the labels are the same, so I won't pull all 3 out. But they look just like the CDs do. And it's absolutely fantastic. The red, white, and blue vinyl set tends to run around $70 or $80. The black vinyl set, a little less. But they get pricey because most often they're hard to find from US sellers and you have to pull them in from the UK, and shipping's just a bitch. So to have found a local copy here in the US, I'm just absolutely stoked. And this is one that, man, if you dig The Who and you think Live at Leeds is the high watermark, the benchmark, Live at Leeds is a killer concert, no doubt about it. And it's a great vinyl. It's an even better CD, I have to say, because it contains the full show, the later Legacy edition, whereas the record only contains a subset. It's a great listen. It's very, very powerful. And it's the benchmark against which all Who live records are judged. Live at the Isle of Wight, right up there with it. Absolutely unbelievable. So if the record is something that's out of reach, at least do yourself a favor. You can get the CD online for probably $5 to $10 used on eBay. Well worth every penny. And I actually got this as a way to make sure I wanted to go out and splurge on the vinyl, which I had every intention of doing around Christmas or so. To find a gently used copy for way less than I had planned on spending after I heard the CD was just early Christmas. So that is it from me. Vinyl community, don't forget to check out Doug James and Raging Metal using the links below. It's well worth your time. I totally think you'll enjoy it. Thanks for checking out the albums. I hope everybody's doing well, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Ciao.